Do you hate spending your hours on Rust, farming, and building your teammates' cracked base idea all just to get offlined? Me too, so I decided to create a solo duo trio base that's actually affordable for a casual Rust player. This is the Thorn. It's got no floor stacking, no wall stacking, no externals, and yet it holds its weight against online and offline raids. And I've laid out the build steps so simply that anyone, regardless of their hours, could build this base. Plus, did I mention the open core and the stability bunker downstairs hiding your TC. Still on the fence? Let's take a tour and you can decide if this will be your next home. And don't forget, if you guys like what you see in the tour, drop me a sub. It really helps out the channel and shows me you guys enjoy these videos. Heading through the first few airlock doors, you can see we have windows into our base and also looking out. And even with this base's tiny layout, I still managed to fit a spacious open core, and with Honeycomb guarding every side, we can guarantee a 16 rocket raid to anywhere in this room. And in the event of an online raid, check out the peek downs straight from our bedrooms upstairs. We can go have a quick look around up here, and since everything is nicely symmetrical in the entire base, it won't take very long to learn the layout. And you can say goodbye to door camping with these no build out wide gap peek downs on every side of the base. And you also may have noticed behind me on the two walls and also behind this garage door, we have 3 jump up peaks. And just have a look at the long range angle we get using the horizontal barricade. And we can also quickly use these pods to look onto our roof. And as I mentioned downstairs in the open core, here's the angle we get from our bedrooms. Next, it's upstairs to the roof floor. Up here we have a bowl roof, and you can be an absolute menace using these head glitches up the ramps. Okay, now let's head downstairs and check out the bunker. We're gonna spawn in one of our 3 sleeping bags in the basement. And I need to mention, this bunker does not work on console. However, because of the long door path, the base is the exact same raid cost without the bunker. So to the console players, just ignore the bunker and you'll still have a tank of a base. But if you are on PC, here's the simple way to place in the stairs. Along with the bunker, we of course have the TC, a 6-box loot room behind this garage door, and lastly, your battery for all the electricity needs. Here's the TC upkeep. And as many of you know, I strive to make my starters cheaper than the average 2x1. So sticking with the tradition, here is the simple starter for this build. And I also want to mention, this build was completely inspired by you guys in the comment section of my last video. So thanks to everyone who gave me ideas in the last comment section. And let's do it again with this base. If you have any ideas that you'd like to see built, write it in the comments, and who knows, maybe your concept will be in my next build. Here are the deployables I like to place for my starter, but feel free to change this up as you like. And note that I'm just going to remove these double doors in the front just to make the tutorial a little easier to explain. You don't need to do this. When you're placing down these garage doors, be cautious of which way the roller is facing. Sometimes it'll poke out through the walls on the outside of the base, and people can splash it with rockets. Now on the two sides that don't have the doorway, we're going to place in a half-height floor tile as a jump up onto the roof. Once these are placed in, we can build our drop-down chute. And now we can save up some metal frags and upgrade the entire core. Don't forget to head downstairs after and check for anything you may have missed. And note that at this point, if you need to log off or leave your base for an extended period of time, you're welcome to seal off the bunker. Obviously, just be 100% certain that you've placed a bag in your core before you seal anything off. Now let's begin working on the open core. If you don't have glass windows yet, wooden window bars or metal window bars will suffice. I know this is a bit costly to craft all these double doors, so feel free to use wooden ones if you're really running low on metal frags, but we're gonna end up using all of the double doors later on in the base when we build the peak downs anyways. Then we can add 3 stone triangle foundations off every side of the metal core. And in just a minute, we're going to seal off the old jump ups to the roof, so we'll create new ones at the front of the base, just like this. Then we can build in our 6 box loot rooms on either side. And you can do these in stone, but I'm going to upgrade them straight to metal. Next, I'm going to run around to the back side of the base and add some honeycombing back here just to protect our drop down chute and our core. As long as your walls aren't too high, it's fine to leave the foundations as stone. Let's now complete the last layer of foundations by running around the base and filling in any gaps where there may be 2 triangles missing. You'll end up with a nice symmetrical ring all the way around the base, and for the next step we can begin by sealing off the bottom layer of our door path. On the side with your window, we're going to place in a new jump up with a triangle just like this. And just to make the base look nice, I'm going to upgrade all of this to metal, but you definitely don't need to do this step if you're trying to save on frags. Now let's do a bit of honeycombing around the base, starting with these gaps. And again, don't forget, if you're running low on metal, feel free to use stone here, as you can upgrade these later. Don't forget to jump up to the roof afterwards and fill in any of the tops that you may have missed. Then pick any of these outcast triangles and we're going to build in our jump up peaks. And in the area that's left over, we're going to build our peak downs. And the first bit that we're building here will just ensure that no one can boost or really easily pick into your peaks. This middle triangle in the center of the room will be for your jump up to the roof. Starting at the front door window, here's how we're going to build in those wide gap peak downs I showed you in the intro. At this point in the base, I'm going through the entire second floor, adding any garage doors to frames I may have missed. And you'll notice this backside towards the drop down is not honeycombed on either of our 6-box loot rooms, so we're going to add a frame and a garage door in each one just to serve as a little extra protection. Here are the armored upgrades that I like to do going down into the core. Personally, I like to keep the battery section as metal, and I'm going to upgrade the rest of the walls to HQM. Notice that we'll get the TC roof from upstairs after this is all done. And then here's how I place in all the extra deployables, but feel free to customize this as you wish. Now, because our open core is fairly close to the peak down, we're going to want to seal this off just in case someone takes control of this level. I know a lot of you have DLC skins, especially for stone, but in this case, for the ramp specifically, I'd recommend keeping the default skin, as the gap in between the window becomes a lot smaller and you can really abuse the head glitch. Now, I won't show you the placement of each individual embrasure, but customize it to your own liking. Here's what I like to do, but it also depends on the terrain around you. And we're now on to the final section of the base, which is the last layer of honeycomb, only on the bottom level. Of course, this again can be upgraded to stone if you don't have the metal, but if you have extra metal frags, I'd highly recommend upgrading this just to make the raid cost into your core 31 rockets. Thank you all so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope the base treats you well in your future wipes.